Now, interfacing is like a pair of Spanx for a little black dress. It sucks everything up and in and keeps it just where it should be. So today I'm talking about something you'll never see in a finished project, but it's essential for the longevity, the structure and the stability of a successful sewing project. So yes, I'm talking about interfacing. So if you're a beginner getting started with sewing and you're finding the whole world of interfacing confusing and maybe a little unnecessary, today I'm going to break down the types of interfacing that we use, why we need them, and just how important they are to get a beautifully finished project. So a lot of my patterns are made from woven cotton fabric, and this is a great fabric for making quilts out of, and lightweight projects that don't have a lot of functional use. They're generally just put somewhere and left there. But if you're going to make a functional project that gets daily use, maybe a bag that has zips and pockets and maybe has some weight put in it, then you'll find that woven cotton stretches and sags very quickly. And if you're wanting a particular shape for your project, then interfacing is what changes all of this and is the undercover star of the show. So there are three main types of interfacing that I use in my patterns. So the first group of interfacings I'd like to talk about are the woven cotton interfacings. And this is because they are just so versatile. Anytime you're going to sew with some woven cotton, I recommend putting a layer of this on the reverse of your fabric first, because this just stops the fabric stretching and it gives it a great structure. And you can do a range of different weight interfacings for this. It also stops any shadowing coming through. So if you're using a very light coloured fabric and you want to be layering this up onto some dark colour fabrics, then putting a layer of this on first is what's going to stop the fabric stretching and just keep everything nice and tight and give it less drape. And I also love it because it doesn't change the texture of the fabric. So my go-to brand for woven cotton interfacing is Pelon SF101. I just love this for its quality and consistency, and it's just generally the perfect weight to pair with quilting cotton. So the second group of interfacings I'd like to talk about are the polyester ones. So while the woven cotton ones will give your fabric some stability, the polyester ones are what is going to give it the structure. And the range of weights that you can get from this are going to give it drape or make it all the way up to being a very stiff and rigid bag. So when I look at this range of polyester ones, this one's a very lightweight one. It's very similar in weight to SF101. This one's a medium weight one, and then we're getting a bit more of a paper quality to this. And this one is a very heavyweight one. This is Pelon SF101, and this one almost has a cardboard quality to it. So Pelon SF101 is great for giving great structure and body while still having some flexibility to it. So the third group of interfacings I want to talk about today are not technically interfacings at all, but because I use them inside my patterns all the time, I thought they definitely need a mention. So these are the interfacings that are going to add loft and a plush quality to your patterns. So this is fusible fleece, and this is often what will go inside when I might want to add some quilting to a project, and it just gives some loft and softness to your project and softens any of those hard lines. And if you're wanting to add even more loft and softness to your projects, then you can look at foam. So this is a relative newcomer to the industry, but this has taken the industry by storm because fusible foam, or just foam, is a great product to add a really plush look. And so you can use this to add a softness and a lovely squishiness to your projects. So one of the great benefits of working with interfacings is that you can layer them on top of each other. And so here's an example of my focus finder. So this is a notepad cover, and it's designed to have a stationary type feel to it. So it's got some very rigid interfacing inside it. So I use a layer of SF101 first, and then I put some of that heavyweight interfacing inside it. So it has a cardboard type feel to it. So it still has some flexibility to it, but it has enough rigidity to it to make a beautiful cover. And this project is an example where I've layered 3 interfacings. So inside this flap, I have got a layer of SF101. I have 2 layers of fusible fleece, and I also have the very rigid 71F, the heavy cardboard type one. And that gives a lovely shape. It's quite a stiff but flexible flap, and it's got a lovely plush feeling to it from the layers of the fleece that you'll find inside. So I often get questions from around the world about substituting different brands. So I love to use Pelon products when I can get them. Now in Australia, you can get most of the Pelon products under the Legacy brand, and this is available at Spotlight, and all the codes are the same except they have an L at the front. Now in Australia, getting the Pelon SF101 can be a little bit difficult. So you can substitute this for the Birch Shape to Create range. They do a woven cotton interfacing that is very similar to Pelon SF101. So in Europe, you can also get the Vlieseline range of interfacings, and they have a great range of woven cottons, polyester ones and foam interfacings that all substitute really well for the Pelon ones. So I hope this video has given you some confidence to go and explore the world of interfacing, because I would love you to just, as you sew, experiment a little bit with different interfacings, different combinations that you put together. And as you go, you'll discover your own style, whether you love something a bit more structured, a bit more slouchy, and you can discover what works for you.